Hello, all my foxy folk out there. My name is Andrew.
And I'm your boy, Clinto.
And I'm Eric. And in this episode, we're going to be collecting pages, solving puzzles, and uncovering the golden path in one of my favorite games ever, Tunic, right here on the Railroad Park Gaming Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Be sure to stick around till the very end of the episode where we've got another good old-fashioned boss fight with our boy Kyle
Can't wait for that.
and KT's hypotheses. Hell
You're
yeah.
sweating.
Yeah, I'm sweating. It is 69 degrees in here. I'm sweating.
Anyway, maybe I'm gatekeeping here. Maybe I'm blocking people from fun. But we got to talk about what we've been playing, right?
Of course.
Oh, fine.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so I finished up There Is No Light. This game fucks.
It sucks.
It fucks heavy, dude. It's great.
Dude, your posture while you're doing that is just like, you were just like,
So matter of fact.
Yeah, this is a fact.
you're like a fucking gargoyle. Just,
I absolutely love this game, but I'm going to preface this by saying, like, I recommend this game to no one. This game was made for me, and I love it.
Now, what do you mean?
And
by
if
that?
you play it and you love it, that's great. But just don't blame me if you don't, because it's made for me, not for you.
oh,
Okay?
so don't do the things that you do to us.
Yes.
Okay. Noted.
No, and you'll probably give me some shit for it, because if you do end up playing it, it is pretty like Souls-like.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's no light. It's like an isometric pixel, adventure game where it really shines is not only in the fucking amazing pixel landscapes, just like the imagery is insane, but the combat is lightning fucking fast. It's crazy difficult.
Lightning fast all the time.
Yes, yes. But it's got some really cool mechanics. So the enemies will come at you. They'll have like indicators above their head. So if it's red, that means it's a basic attack. You can interrupt them by just pounding them with a regular attack. And if it goes yellow, that means it's an unblockable attack. And you got two options. You can either dodge that shit real quick, or you can use your special attack, which you get from filling your rage bar, which your rage bar fills from attacking, right? So you want to be aggressive to fill the rage bar, but it's a short window because if you stop attacking, that shit just goes right back down.
This sounds like Sekiro.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna give me a little bit of shit, but it's been delivered to me in the form that I like.
Sure,
which is
sure.
isometric 2D pixel.
Sounds sick.
All right.
But yeah, so you can then interrupt the yellow unblockable attack if your rage is up with your special attack, and then it's got another mechanic on top of that baked in where, like, if you do that enough times, then they'll end up dropping like heals and shit for you, because otherwise you ain't healing. There's like no potions in this fucking game.
No minish in the bushes.
Nah, and again, like Souls, it's like it's made of these, sections where it's like you're traveling this whole like crazy dungeon or whatever, but you'll have to go through this like grueling fucking crazy section till you get to another save point, and then you're like, oh yes, okay, I don't have to go back anymore and do that. Made it here. Let's do this next fucking.
That's that
run.
progression I do love.
So yeah, but
Andy, do you think this might be the gateway drug Eric needed?
No.
No, because it's the combat. It's the combat. The way the combat is done and the look, right? The Dark Souls is not nice to look at. The combat
says you
also
prick.
shit. So it's those
I-
things. I'm a combat guy, and this is super fast. You've got the dash dodge, the attacks, the fill the bar, the charge attack, the heal. Everything's great.
The rage quit bar.
So,
Awesome.
what have you been playing?
Quickly, I'll go over a few. I've been playing a little bit of a lot of things. I finally
Are you double dipping again?
I'm quintuple dripping, drooling
you
all
gotta
over
talk
my
to
controller.
someone.
I know, dude. I'm therapy.
Clinton.
I finally beat Ascension level 20 in Slay the Spire.
Oh, God.
You don't understand
I beat
how crazy that is.
the
I know it's
game,
crazy.
guys. It is the hardest thing I have ever done, video gaming wise, in my life.
Were you sweating?
Honestly, dude,
yeah.
that run where I nailed it, I was so balls to the wall stacked that
Just
like
God mode.
I honestly I recall not feeling very satisfied. I was like, fuck, man. I broke the game.
That's a reward in
No, it was a
itself,
good
though.
run though. It was a good run. Do you know what the stakes are in order to cap level 20?
No, I'm on like Ascension 6, dude.
Do you want me to tell you or no?
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far. That's insane.
The limit break on level 20 is that you have to double the final boss. It randomizes 2 bosses at you.
At the same time?
No, one after another. You reset your whole deck though. Like your power cards don't stay in play, none of that shit.
What?
Which would be sick, because I would love to start a boss right after another one with everything still in play. You got to do one boss after another.
Oh, you mean like the fight resets.
And it's fucked.
Dude, you're a fucking masochist.
It's fucked. But like I said, this run, anyway, quickly, that's done. Hardest thing I've ever done in video games. Feels good. It is March 12th, 2024. Sifu is free this month for anyone subscribed to PS Plus. Downloaded that game.
Awesome. I didn't even realize it was on consoles. I thought that was like just a PC game.
Yeah, it's essentially a roguelite kung fu fighting game. It is run based. It plays just like a 3D beat 'em up game, and it's fucking so fun.
Right, like it's got combos and stuff that you need to input the sequences on and everything. Right?
Yeah, I vaguely remember this.
They are tough combos, and honestly, it feels like the creators of Skate made a beat 'em up game. Because there's a lot of shit going on with the joystick. Quick up, down, quick down, up, then a button. It feels a lot like Skate in some regards.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
this
supposed to be
doesn't
like
sound like it's for me.
I downloaded the Unicorn Overlord demo.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I
It
was
looks cool.
interested in that. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I think I kind of missed some like tactics, you know? It's been a while since I've had some of that in my life. I'm not a big fan of auto battle,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't think I'm a big fan in the start of it because all of my party members only have like 2 attacks. I think I can see this game opening up and it being fucking fire, but it's the whole battle system is an automatic thing, and it's like Final Fantasy 12 gambits.
Yeah.
So you just engage a battle and watch it pan out,
Yeah, I can't
and then
stand that.
based on your initiative stat determines who goes first. So there's a lot of possibilities that can happen.
Yeah, I got very uninterested. Like I just
hear
saw the
that.
way that it looked, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool."
looks beautiful.
Kind of looks like Octopath or Triangle Strategy or something.
Yeah.
We never talked about Triangle Strategy. Did
I
either
don't
of you
think
guys?
any of us ever got around to playing
I
it.
did not.
No, yeah.
I played the demo when it dropped, and I was
Same.
like, Jesus Christ. They just, I was like 40 minutes in, and I hadn't done a thing.
Yeah, a
like it's
lot
an
of
awful
story.
demo.
Yeah.
Very story heavy.
Yeah,
Well,
bad demo.
It's an accurate demo.
Ayo.
Because that's what you're in for.
Yeah, but like you got to sell me on the strategy aspect of it.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of a game, pretty niche game. Maybe you heard of it. It's called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I've heard of it. Yeah,
We're gonna have to record an episode on this. It's kind of inevitable because listeners, I mean, I fully concede here. I mean, I can even fucking zip in an old clip of me saying I'll never fucking buy this game, and Eric just being like, "Yeah, you will. I think you will."
Yeah, you're gonna pick it up.
I don't think I am, bud.
Yeah, you are.
No, I don't think I am.
Yeah, I think
I
you are.
really don't think I'm gonna do it.
I think you are.
How about I buy you dinner and you can let me borrow when you're done? I concede in the fact that, like, you know, I thought about it, and this is objectively probably the biggest remake to ever launch, period.
yeah, I'd say that. Yeah,
And if we're a group of people who want to have a successful, relevant gaming podcast, like, dude, we can't just not check this thing out, right? Come on. There's a fucking meteor coming straight for us. We're not going to ignore it,
in theory, we can not check this out.
but not in practice. And
I beg to differ. But go off, Cam.
Yeah, this podcast ain't about current events.
ayo.
You guys are gonna. Well, you already played it, a chunk of it. Eric, you're still playing it, right?
I'm still playing, yeah.
I saw like the last trailer that they dropped. I decided I wanted to play it, so I tried to force my way through Remake, which is a game that I only played the demo of, and I was underwhelmed.
Buckle up, everybody.
I started playing through Remake, and I was having a blast, and then I wasn't. And then I stopped and deleted it off my PlayStation and decided I'm not going to play Rebirth because it's not for me, man. And it's for people. And it's not because the game is bad. It's just, it doesn't, I don't have the nostalgia of the original game. That game doesn't resonate with me all that much. And I wasn't going to force myself through 40 hours to play that just so I could force myself through 100 hours to play Rebirth.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it, because I'm not sure that this game is even for people that have nostalgia towards the original.
See, I don't know. I can't. It's not my place to say. But I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a bad video game. Because I can't.
Anyway, sad to say, I didn't even complete this game, and I brought it back and got myself $45 store credit on my physical copy. $45. And
Thank you for correcting me.
I literally could not with this game. So there's that.
Well, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna see this through. So
Yeah, he's glutton for punishment.
I won't. So I will be sitting here when we do this episode, and we'll see.
Yeah. Maybe we'll bring AJ back on because he's doing all the bits.
Well, God bless him.
I feel like he's the one out of all of our friends, especially, to just not be that kind of guy.
I think because it's Final Fantasy, I could see him hate playing it. but he stopped 16 and didn't finish that.
Game not fun.
You're right. It is interesting. So, Andrew, what have you been playing? I played through a game called Signalis.
I played a little bit of that game too. Fuck yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah?
I loved it. This game came out, I think, like 2 years ago. Something?
Yeah.
Maybe. It's a shameless Silent Hill Resident Evil clone, but with like an isometric view. Oh my God. It looks so good. It's so good. And there are parts of it that aren't so good. If you're itching for Resident Evil 2 or Silent Hill 2, that experience that comes with all the mechanical flaws that came with those games, you're going to get it here.
Well
like
put.
for better or for worse.
yeah, that's cool though.
And it's fantastic. Like the gunplay kind of sucks, but like in original Resident Evil 2 and Silent Hill 2, it sucked. didn't feel good.
It's a thing to be said of like a beauty and limitation kind of game.
Yes, the little anime flash sequences are fucking gorgeous.
They are.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know it had cutscenes.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude.
Dude.
Oh yeah, dude. And that's
cool.
what I really, really gravitated towards in this game is the narrative. The character models are like, when it's not showing like the anime flashes, they're just kind of like faceless polygons that kind of have that janky PS1 look.
Nice.
It's so sick. But it comes with all these puzzle solving sequences that are very much like old Resident Evil. Like you got a fucking film canister and you define like developer.
The silver monkey.
Yeah, stuff like that.
A lot of safe codes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not as much. It seems at the beginning there's going to be a lot of those. There really isn't.
Okay.
There's maybe 4 of them in the whole game. A lot of get this key, go here, go open this door, and then this thing opens this chest that has this key that goes to this door that has 5 other keys that you can open this and continue the narrative. A lot of story exposition right at the end that you're just like, oh fuck, oh fuck, and it's just I don't know. It was an incredible experience, and
Awesome, man. Yeah, I got to get to that one. I have it.
Dude, you'll like it. As a PS1 guy, it's like this. It's.
Oh yeah, I knew it right away, so I picked it up. Somehow both of you guys played it before me. I think I bought it first, and then like you played it for a bit.
Yeah.
And fell off, and I still haven't freaking got to it.
I think in the Silent Hill subreddit, a lot of people in one random post that I saw just started going off about how like if you want a newer Silent Hill experience, that this is the game to go for, and like.
Sure.
I can't argue it at all.
Hell yeah.
Because that's all I felt was Silent Hill throughout this whole game.
I got to restart this thing. Give it another go.
But yeah, like I said, it's good. You're going to have these moments where you're just like, well, this is clunky. Then you start thinking like, my favorite game, Silent Hill 2, is also super fucking clunky.
Yeah, that's the
No.
experience.
And I think that's why it's like this. Like the gun plays a little slow. Sometimes you're picking up the gun and you're just like, well, I'm getting attacked and I'm trying to shoot, but they're clipping into me and it's not really pulling off a shot. And it's just like, well, that's kind of
how it goes.
the weird charm of those old games.
Yeah.
And it's fucking on full display here.
Okay.
Guys,
What's up?
how good is Tunic?
Oh my God. Are you ready? All right. The copy's in our hands right now. What do we think about this box art?
It's fucking Zelda. And it rules. It's just Zelda. It's so shamelessly Zelda.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's a carbon copy of like The Adventure of Link, or maybe even the original Zelda, where it's just like he's just holding the shield and he's got the sword and it's just there's nothing going on.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's perfect because it just lets you know right out the gate like what you're in for. You're like, hey, you like Zelda? You're probably gonna like this game.
Probably. Yeah.
And already it's giving you a little hint with the logo it's already got some glyphs on there.
Sure
You're
does.
like, I wonder what that means.
I mean, and the game's called Tunic. Zelda.
100%.
1 + 1 is 2, my guy. Here we are.
Yeah, pretty cool box art. It's already getting us amped for the thing. Now we load that puppy in, takes us to the start screen.
Sure does. And immediately you're met with the greatest soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got this giant sword just rotating, these swaying particles, and just swelling tones. Just
these synth
all the other
pads.
great tracks that are
Just
coming.
reverb for days.
Right away, it's creating those epic adventure vibes. Like, let's do this.
But like as glorious as that all sounds, we had no idea how glorious things would actually be.
Nope.
And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to all that.
Because yeah, this game is so much more. I mean, like it's advertising on the box art. You think you're just in for a good old Zelda adventure. That's all I thought I was signing up for, and I was fine with that.
Yeah.
Totally
We've
fine with
played Zelda clones. I don't know. I think we probably talked about Blossom Tales once or twice.
Yeah,
And
great
that's
game.
a shameless Link to the Past clone, and it fucking rules. And
Yeah, it's basically as shameless as it gets, and
Yeah.
it does fucking rule.
it rules.
Unsighted,
Totally.
which literally rips off the sound effects from Ocarina of Time, but it fucking rules. With the spinner, all the same items and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Great shit.
We create a new file, and it immediately throws us on the shores of a beach. We have no idea where we are. The music's swelling. What do we think about these visuals, boys?
It's good stuff, man. I mean, it's very clean, and sometimes it's almost a little too simple, but because it's that like old polygon look that takes you back to like the N64 or like Final Fantasy VII like look, I'm already in my zone. This is my element, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the actual term is I think it's voxel, which is essentially 3D rendering of pixels. I really like the way it looks. I think if it didn't have that cool angled isometric look, I'd kind of be like, it looks kind of basic Unity drag and drop.
Totally. Yeah. Like just reused assets and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wasn't sure how to put that because I don't really know anything about game development, but
Has like
Yeah,
a very
no, I totally get you.
game engine rendering to it, just like game assets only.
yeah, I think another good use of voxel, I'm using air quotes here, is Fez. Like everything looks very 2D, but then it can spin and put it in a 3D space.
For sure.
I'm totally here for it. I mean, you can see it, especially in the grass and the bushes where they just look like foam almost.
Yeah.
I wrote this down. It's clearly not afraid to lean into it, and therefore it elevates this toy-like feeling, and I'm all about it.
For
'Cause
sure.
Everything about this game is very toy-like, and it brought out this childlike wonder. And the only thing missing was a bowl of sugary cereal to my side. You know what I mean? Oh, so fucking good.
Yeah, and I don't. We're not talking about the music yet, but I think it plays well with the soaked reverb synth pads.
Definitely,
Like the
yeah.
music plays well. Like the music matches the visual aesthetic like perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, because even though like the soundtrack has a lot of different vibes, it all kind of leans in with heavy reverb synth pads and just like classic lightly reverbed piano. And it plays very well with these graphics.
It's so harmonious.
100%. Yeah.
Guys, this is a fucking masterclass of atmosphere.
But yeah, even with its simplistic look, though, there is a lot to take in. I mean, it's very vibrant, it's sunny, but you have a lot of different areas that have completely different tones and looks to them.
Like a good Zelda clone should.
State Farm is there. No, it's good. And they even lean into it with the UI and the menus. They're all very clean. They don't impede you in any way visually. This game is just, in a lot of ways, at first glance, can come off very simplistic and bare bone, but it's all by design, and it just pays off in droves for it, for sure.
Yeah, totally. I mean, a big aspect of this game is the discovery, right? So, I mean, while the menu is super simplistic, like you don't even have item names or descriptions, you just have you just have floating things in your menu. And it's part of just like experimenting and equipping things and being like, what does this do?
We're going to be comparing, like I've already brought up Fez once. Like we're going to be comparing it to Fez because it has so many similarities. The UI, for instance, you're acquiring things and you don't fucking know what they do. It doesn't tell you. There's no text bar at the bottom of the screen that says this does this. Like everything is kind of just mysterious. There's a surface level game that is very basic and bare bones.
So yeah, the simplicity Let's talk about gameplay mechanics now. Let's dive into
Yeah,
this
let's
game a
talk
little
about
bit.
real simple shit.
Yeah. Combat.
I mean, we've been in so many words praising this game so far. Not much to be praised about when it comes to combat.
This is definitely a tick for the game in the not so great direction, for sure. But you know what? I will say, when we were all done playing this game, I think we all dogged on the combat a little bit. And I hopped back in as a nice refresher right before this. I think the combat is exactly what it needs to be for this game.
I think it's definitely enough. It's definitely
enough.
But it's like right there, right?
Yeah.
Like any less, and you'd be kind of like, but it's still just exactly what it needs to be. Like you said, you got your sword, your shield, and your dodge roll, which is pretty standard. Most games, that's all you got. But
I just wished it was more fluid and quick and hear me out.
little more robust.
If this game controlled and felt like Hyper Light Drifter, this would be my favorite game of all time.
Oh, yeah.
This would
sure.
be
I mean,
number one.
that's fluid, right? And this isn't quite as fluid.
And
So
Hyper
it's
Light isn't my number one. But if this game had that, it would be my number one. But you can't have it all, folks.
Andrew Audette for president, everybody.
You can't have it all.
For me, I think I just wanted the tiniest bit more enemy variety.
I guess even though the enemy variety isn't, as good as we'd like, there's so much more to do in this game that it's easily forgiven, right?
For sure.
Totally. I mean,
For
it's a simplistic Zelda-like experience,
Yeah.
So it's got exactly what it needs. It's just maybe not quite as robust as a lot of modern games.
If this
or
game
what we
was
like,
80% combat, I mean, we'd probably have a little bit of a problem here.
yeah. But because it's a more of a minor aspect to the overall gameplay experience, it's enough.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, so another cool thing about Tunic is that this game allows you to have it be as difficult as you'd like it to be, because it's got options to just prevent dying completely, or really minimize the damage, take it down, or you can just turn that shit all the way up like I did and just have your classic adventure where dying.
Oh yeah, it had options in the menus where was it God mode? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called.
Was it called God
That's what they
mode?
called it, yep.
Yeah, but basically you can just turn dying off, right? So you'll just keep taking damage, but you'll always be sitting at 1 HP. And you can just kind of truck through.
Oh, that's so sick.
Foreshadowing quite a bit for me there, but
let's sit on this for a little bit. Although, oh God, we're going to talk about Dark Souls a lot. This is a Dark Souls
Naturally.
podcast, by the way.
I mean, this is how it goes.
I really hate the whole gatekeeping aspect of Dark Souls.
yeah.
Where the whole get good society that exists in the Dark Souls world is pretty fucking insufferable.
Nuh-uh. Sorry.
Would I want a difficulty slider in Dark Souls? I don't give a shit. I really don't. If you can make video games be enjoyed by anyone who wants to play them, that's a win.
It can only be a win. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
I feel like this needs to be said in our podcast, right? That's
Yeah, because accessibility is very
because
important
we
to
are
us.
very nerdy with FromSoft, and the majority of FromSoft's collective fan base is just people saying it needs to be super hard, and if you can't beat it, then you can't experience it. And I don't fucking agree with that at all.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Games are fun, and if you're not having fun, dial down the difficulty and have fun there.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, I did exactly that on my playthrough. Because this game has got some crazy difficulty spikes. My guys.
It does have some spikes for sure.
I bet I can guess. But yeah, so you can crank it all the way up, and it gives you that Souls-like experience where, wherever you die, you lose some coins, and you can, if you get back to that spot again, you can reclaim your coins.
But you got that one chance.
Do not miss your chance.
So the formula in this game, until now, it's your basic Metroidvania that's heavily cloaked in a Zelda tunic, no pun intended. But where this game really fucking shines is its pure discovery.
100%.
Might not be the combat, might not be the graphics if you're a nerd for 4K, 60 frames a second kind of jazz, but the discovery in this game.
Totally.
Arguably, it's, for me, 100% of what makes this game what it is.
Definitely, yeah. Because almost everything you look at in this game has a deeper meaning to it than how it first appears.
And it's magical.
Absolutely. That is definitely the magic of Tunic. You can breeze through this game just experiencing just the combat and the journey, which is great. You'll have a great time. Or you can also just dig into your manual, which we'll talk about a bit more, and then just begin breaking the game down and decoding all your surroundings and just having a freaking blast.
So let's dive into the manual now, because
Oh God.
this is truly the beginning of the magic of this game.
Absolutely. And this is something that like hit me straight in the feels because like I'm coming from the 90s. I'm coming from the era of Super Nintendo where like you always got this rad ass manual with every game. Whenever you got stuck, there was no internet. You just had to like, figure it out or like maybe peek around the manual and see if you could learn some new tips and tricks or something you didn't realize was a mechanic and whatnot.
Yeah, and let's harken back. Sorry to cut you off, but let's harken back to the first Zelda again. Now, most people, if they're playing it now, they obviously don't have the manual. But the thing is, if you jump into Zelda in the year of our Lord 2024, first of all, the game's fucking hard. Second of all, the game don't tell you anything.
It don't tell you nothing.
It don't tell you shit, Kev.
Just that it's dangerous to go alone.
It's just, take the sword.
And it is
But
dangerous.
if you played the game when you were able to get a cartridge with the manual attached to it, the manual not only gave you context to like what's going on in the world, items you can collect, but it actually gave you tips. It gave you suggested places to go first. It gave you strategies on defeating tough enemies and bosses. The manual wasn't shoved down your throat in game or through like a dumb tutorial that just refuses to let go of your hands until 4 hours into your game.
Yeah.
It was completely optional. There's some serious beauty in just like discovering it for yourself. And it just like does this really magical thing where all of a sudden you're like teleported into that world because it's your own doing.
Preach.
And this fucking game,
Yeah.
I wrote this down. Like I can see this game being emulated from now on, but it'll never be done like they did ever again. And that's so sad.
Okay, so
stop.
let's break this down a little bit because we are talking about this as if people don't know this game.
Yeah,
right?
so we'll explain it a little bit.
So in this game, Tunic, which we all love, there's an in-game manual, and you don't get the manual. You get pages of it at a time. And these pages have, pictures of your little player character and environments and little charts and graphs and tips and tricks in the game. Probably close to half of it is in this language that on the surface looks like gibberish, just like hieroglyphs. Like you have no idea.
Yeah, so the manual is very coded. So really, like the only thing you have to go on in the manuals are the illustrations and like the pictures, and you have to try to like soak them in and understand like what it's trying to convey through the pictures because you're not able to read it. It's in a different language.
Yeah, there's
right?
a little bit of English or your chosen language sprinkled
it's
throughout,
sprinkled
but
in
it's not
to give you
enough.
some hints and clues and stuff. But it's the game's way of like very lightly guiding you into different directions, which is cool because you can't ignore it and just like go. You can go in any direction, but with the manual, it's like lightly guiding you as to like, hey, you should check this area out and maybe focus on this. And it's just a really, really awesome mechanic to put in a game that I've never experienced before.
Yeah.
You're just finding these pages throughout your adventure, and they're just kind of drip feeding you some information about like what's next.
And this
what you can do.
information is so crucial to this game. Like it kind of feels like a Metroidvania in that aspect, but instead of you getting a power up, you're getting information.
That's exactly it. Yes.
And that information is paramount to anything in this game. So this manual, it's beautiful, by the way. It's just like gorgeous artwork.
It's awesome to just flip through.
Every line in this manual is put there on purpose and with the most intent that you can ever imagine. The detail in this, this is the game. Like
He fucking preached, dude. I am bouncing in my chair.
this game is built around this. Is it 52 pages? No, it's definitely
if
more
not
than that.
54.
Yeah, I want to say 54, but
This game doesn't work without this manual. I know some people who might listen to this might think like, oh, this manual is probably cool. No, this manual is the game.
Yeah. For example, listeners, I didn't even know you could sprint until I found page 13, which lets you know if you hold the dodge roll button, you can then run.
But it doesn't tell you that.
No, it doesn't.
Nothing in this manual
So this guy was slow walking the whole time.
explicitly tells you
You gotta think
anything.
for that.
That's a common thing with you.
You love just
Oh, God.
missing the
Are you
fast.
gonna look in my eyes, look me in the fucking face, and tell me you knew how to sprint before you found page 13?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay, fair enough.
I probably did.
So yeah, we're finding these page out of order. It's very clear.
Yeah,
that
that's the other thing that's
Yeah.
really cool is that you're not getting, page 1 and then page 2 and 3.
Oh, no.
You're getting
Oh, no.
53 and then 13 and then 28.
Yes.
And it's just, so on top of you like deciphering these pages and finding your way, you're also piecing together this whole book and, connecting pages to get the other half of the image to figure out what's really going on.
Yeah, it really contextualizes a lot of things too. Because when you get one of those first pages in your adventure, it suggests your first few actions. Because the game can seem a little aimless at first, in that you're not sure where to go or what to do or what your purpose is. So the manual then coming in with that crucial page to suggest go to the forest. And then ultimately to ring the 2 bells. I'm looking at you, Dark Souls 1. I am so sorry again.
You have to ring 2 bells.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, you do.
But no other games rung fucking bells.
But anyway,
2 of them.
2 specifically to open up side B of the game. But anyway, it does wonders to just very gracefully guide you to where you should go. And it's just, it's so fucking masterful.
But we can't stress enough that this manual is coded in just pictures and language that you can't read, and you just got to pay attention just a little bit. Don't passively look at this manual. This manual is telling you everything without saying anything. I can't, I'm here looking at a digital representation of this manual, and I can't. I can't. This game fucking rules. It's so good.
It's a great time.
And we haven't said this yet, but this is a puzzle game. We've gone
said
past
before.
Zelda clone, right? Now we're talking about how this game is not a Zelda clone anymore. This is a puzzle game. This is Fez.
It transforms
Totally.
into a puzzle
Yeah,
game.
it transforms.
It wears a few hats.
Yeah, and like I said before, you don't have to do that. If you're not the puzzle guy and you're kind of I just wanted to play Zelda, you can.
Yeah.
Totally can.
Yeah.
You can just rip through, have your adventure, do your thing.
I don't recommend it. If you're looking for a Zelda clone, you're gonna find better games.
I agree. I agree with you, but you can. Yeah, if you're like us and you love puzzles, there is a whole nother game underneath the game that you can dive into at any time.
You know what, Eric? I never thought of it that way. And it's just an even further testament to the value of this game. You can get more than one. It's really just up to you.
That's why I keep talking about Fez, my guy. Because Fez, you can do a cute little platformer,
Right.
get the 32 cubes, and you could be fucking done.
Yeah,
Gucci.
totally.
But you want to get that 64?
Yeah, or you
You're
can
gonna
be a
have to dive back
psychopath
in,
like
dude, and
me.
you're gonna have to get into the meta game.
Yeah. You can just be a fucking insane person like me with a notebook scribbling nonsense on the walls trying to figure out what's going on. And that's a blast. I love
that
it.
brings up a good point, is that since we're still in instruction manual territory, you're not the puzzle part of this game, you are not beating it without pen and paper. It's just not fucking happening.
Okay. Yeah. Before we get into that and before we step into the shallows of spoiler territory, I just don't want to miss out on talking about music and the sound design in this game.
Oh, good call.
Boy,
Good
the
call.
music.
Because this OST is a standalone masterpiece. I put this shit on
Through
with
and
noise
through.
canceling headphones and woodwork in my basement
It's
all the time.
fucking astounding.
It's so fucking good. And not even just because I'm such a sucker for synthy, vaporwavy ambient music. No, it's objectively incredible. I could put the shit on with my Gen Z brother in a car with no context and he'd be like, yo, this fucking slaps. What is this?
And it also just matches the aesthetic so perfectly.
So perfectly.
And everything you're doing.
Yeah, it's very mysterious and very hopeful and at times.
Yeah, and it can be
has
colorful
different themes and it's
at
very
times.
ethereal and
And it can be pretty fucking dark and twisted
It's
at times.
fucking Reverb City, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's shit's wet.
yeah.
They wrote all this music and then fucking plugged into a holy grail, dude, and then
dude.
just went to town, dude.
You know what they did? They wet the dries.
They wet the dries, dude.
They
It was
wet
too
the
dry. They fucking wet it, dude.
They wet it.
but yeah, it's a super
On God.
It's a super enchanting soundtrack. It's all done by Terrence Lee, who goes by Lifeformed, with some assistance from Janice Kwan. Every area is just oozing with mystique. Just also creates a very relaxed and comforting feeling in certain areas.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's an area behind a waterfall that I would just sit there.
Oh,
and
it's
chill.
incredible.
Is that the reflection room?
Yeah.
Or
God.
the reflection room or the fairy room.
No, the fairy room. Yeah.
Oh, the fairy room. All right.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
But I would just walk in there and then just do something else, like on my phone, or like
And just listen to it.
yeah, just let it play.
Because it's so fucking
Dude,
good.
it's funny. There's I was listening to it again today, and there are some tracks that do you gotta say are kind of lifted from Silent Hill 2? Or just anything by Akira Yamaoka at all? Because you know how he sometimes has these like 80s style hip hop beats with like this dreamy guitar going on? There are some tracks in this game that sound just like that. Uplifting, dreamy stuff, and then some so like yeah.
Take my money, man.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. It's so good.
It ties fully into the sound design of this game, too.
100%.
It is so well integrated. A further testament to that thought is that there's so many puzzles tied to the sound design of this game. This game ain't no labor of love from a hack.
But yeah, you got that wind chime puzzle.
Oh, so fucking good.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. And then even the focus, right? Where you go into like a meditative state.
Which you've had since the first second you've turned this game on. Sure.
Yeah,
You don't
another
find out
hidden button mechanic, right? That you don't know
music.
about.
until you get the page that kind of alludes to the fact that if you hold a certain button, something else happens. But you've had this ability since the first second you've turned this game on, but you just never did it.
Yeah.
Right, like the focus has its own melody to it, right? But it always somehow
It boils down whatever song is
harmonizes and
playing.
incorporates into
Yes.
the theme that's playing outside of it, and it's like the most beautiful shit I've ever
It's
heard.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like a few hours in, and now I think I remember sending a text to you, and I was just like, yo, whenever you focus, it's not doing like its own song. It's doing whatever song of the area that you're in.
Yeah, it's like finding the rhythm.
Yeah, and it
It's playing like
contextualizes
the
itself
root
with it,
notes
yeah.
in this very drawn out reverb synth pad.
It's so sick. And not to
so
mention when you
good.
pause, the screen turns into a pixelated version of itself. And
Oh, yeah.
also the music the music also becomes pixelated and like the 16 or 8-bit version of itself.
God, the fucking detail in this game
Right?
is,
Yeah.
is
There's so many goddamn layers to every facet of this game. Music not excluded. It's so wonderful.
and we haven't even gotten into the best parts of this fucking game yet.
Oh, I know. I know.
Totally, we're just scratching the surface, but yeah, the music is like perfectly integrated. You know, each area really speaks to you, and like it's just perfectly dialed into all the themes. You know, like no note or melody is out of place in this game.
I could not recommend enough adding this album to your Spotify library.
Game fun.
I'm ready to get a little bit more wet. You want to go to the deep end?
All right, yeah, I think we covered everything for the newcomers.
All right, so yeah, call me Andrew WK, dude, because I get wet.
And also, you party hard.
And I love New York City.
Here's your warning, listeners. Here's your big, fat, scary spoiler warning. From here on out, if you haven't played Tunic, I highly suggest you do just that.
Yeah, you stop right here.
I'll wait for you.
This is where you get off.
Yeah.
Yeah, if any of this stuff has interested you at all, if you are a puzzle solver and you very much enjoy video game puzzles such as, I don't know, maybe Fez.
If you follow this show at all, you could just even hear it in our voices. Come on. We're fucking excited.
Missed, The Witness.
Yeah.
If any of this shit,
Sure.
if you fuck with any of this shit, then stop right now because like the tell them why they should stop right
Here,
now.
wait, take it. I'll take it. You have to stop right here because the big component of this game is the discovery. Like you figuring things out, solving the puzzles, just discovering new things overall throughout this whole realm is like what makes this game so special. You'll even find this on like the subreddits where the fan base of this game is awesome. I just gotta shout out to that because like,
sure, yeah.
like
Totally
anytime
worthy.
you're stuck, they also already know and appreciate this game for what it is and like what the important parts of it are, and they will not spoil stuff for you. They will feed you hints, but they will not outright give you the answer and stuff because they know you need to discover this for yourself because those aha moments are like what make this game.
Yeah, it's like telling someone 5 minutes into The Sixth Sense that he's dead. It doesn't
Yeah. So like
It
this.
does nothing for the rest of the experience. You have to have that epiphany for yourself.
Didn't know we were
Totally.
spoiling
Yeah,
movies
and that-
here, but okay.
Oh, yeah, word.
And that's why this game is safeguarded so much. That's why we're really stressing this, that if you haven't played and you're interested at all, please go play it. And even if you get stuck, like, don't be afraid to jump on the subreddit and stuff, because they will treat you the same way and make sure that you don't get any spoilers for you.
Our friends will take very good care of you. All right.
But with that being said, if you've already played the game and you love it so much like we do,
Welcome.
let's continue. You can stay on the bus.
We've got our floaties on. We're ready to swim over to the deep end.
Yeah. Let's just talk about some of the wild elements that are too spoilery.
Let's dive into the story.
Let's dive into the story.
If you've played this, game that we sort of kind of like in this podcast called Hollow Knight,
Never heard of it.
Ayo, much the same.
Wish I never heard of it.
It's like calling my mom a bitch at this point.
Wow.
Tired of your shit, Eric. It's not unlike that at all. The underlying story and theme being like, you're the nameless hero on a magic quest to end a vicious, violent cycle of perpetuity. So, you being the little nameless hero that you are, you ring the 2 bells, you open this big old golden door to unveil some exposition in this game that previously wasn't there before, and you find another fox buddy. She's not doing too hot though. First of all, she's in this sort of nether realm, this void. She's entombed. She's trapped. She don't want to be there. She's banging on the thing she wants out. Poor thing was the last one to succumb to this age or cycle of violence. And unbeknownst to you, you're next in line. And also not known to you is you have the power to end it.
But twist, when you finally go and collect all those 3 crystal keys to unlock her from her prison, she just straight up kills you.
Yeah, she's been taken by the bad stuff.
You did.
She don't know she bad. Not her fault.
She a baddie.
All right, so this is still an adventure game, and you betcha we had to get some sick bosses in before we reach this air. You guys got any favorite bosses?
I got some least favorite bosses.
Ayo.
Librarian.
Librarian was sick.
Yeah. Favorite boss of the game. Librarian.
Fantastic.
All right, so the first boss, very quickly in list fashion, we hit is the Garden Knight. He's sort of like your first typical like forest.
Oh, skill check.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Big
He's-
ramp
he's
in
quick.
difficulty right there.
And in the manual, tells you that he's a skill check.
Yeah. Says get ready.
There's one page that says, it just shows a picture of Garden Knight and it says, you should be this level, this level. Or it says try to be this level or this level.
Yeah.
Gear up, motherfucker. Right
yeah,
after that,
it's-
we got the Siege engine.
I love that one. That thing's huge.
It's a fucking
It like really opened up. That was a cool fight.
something out of Near Automata for sure.
Yeah.
We've got the Librarian, which I think I'm with Andy on
Yeah,
this one. That was
awesome
probably my favorite
presentation.
one.
Really,
yeah, it
really
definitely felt like a hyperlight boss or something. It was good.
Yeah, great presence.
Liked it a lot.
And we got the boss of scavengers.
No.
which is,
No.
I agree.
No.
Big no. Big no.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, that dude. That was the hardest boss in this game for me.
That's where I slid the difficulty knob down.
Understandable. So I was right. That was my guess.
Yeah. It's not, obviously he was hard or she was hard, but that's not why I did it. It just wasn't fun.
It was just crazy. Like they didn't stop moving and attacking. Like they were relentless. And like you could only move so fast or block so many times that it's like it was really hard to keep up with and not
Yeah.
just get pummeled.
It's like I wanted to grab her by the fucking collar and be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was under the assumption we all had a stamina bar, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, you slow down. Like I can't move that fast.
No. So
My
yeah, I just
these
wasn't having fun
controls are
after
limited.
like a dozen deaths. So
That one was rough.
it's
But let's get to the air. I never fought the air.
oh boo boo.
You didn't fight him at all?
No.
Wow.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I knew there was more to do in the game, so I never fought her at first. So then I went and finished everything else in the fucking game and then brought the completed manual to her, and then the game was done.
All right. So I did the same
This
thing.
wasn't on purpose.
Well, I did the same thing. So I realized like I picked up the cues that there was more for me to do as well. And I was like, well, no, I'm not going to go finish the game now. I got more to do. I completed the manual, gave it to her, game over. And then I was like, well, I want to find a boss fight though. So if you go back and just don't walk up and talk to her and give her the manual and you just like hit her with something like the wand, you just shoot her from a distance before talking to her, the battle will just trigger, and then you got to fight.
Okay, I should have did that.
So that's what I did because I was like, well, I still want to fight though.
I fought her first. Died a bunch.
You fool.
But I rolled credits in what I thought was the end. And I was like, okay.
So you actually beat it, even though you were arguably underleveled.
Yeah, after a long time.
But probably not, because I probably...
Yeah, I don't think level matters at that point.
Yeah, never fought the air. So wild,
It's a great fight too. It's really good.
Now that we talked about the bosses, let's cycle back around, and it instantiates this new dungeon where it's like a cathedral. And here, there's not so much a boss at the end of this dungeon, but it is a critical skill check in that you're put through a gauntlet and you get arguably the greatest fucking item / ability in the game. The hero's laurels. That's hard to say.
That almost like tunes up the combat enough. That gives you your warp dash, which like almost dials it up to hyperlight levels because now it's faster. Now you can move around and react in the way that you wanted to the whole time.
The combat becomes slutty. And before the warp dash, it was slow, clunky, little monotonous, repetitive. Now you playing like a slut. That's nice.
But that's almost what even makes it even cooler and more rewarding is that you wanted this the whole time, and now you finally have it, and you can move the way you wanted to.
If you've kept your eye open thus far, you've noticed a few pages here and there that have been so out of reach for you, almost taunting you this whole time, right? How the fuck do I get those things? We got our warp dash now, motherfuckers. Now here is where you can truly get a whole other game.
Or you can just end it.
Yeah, you can end it and have yourself a great, fun Zelda action-adventure clone. And this juncture right now, take this next exit and just get on the fucking freeway to goddamn Godtown. So, you remember that fountain?
Of youth?
Fountain of Wayne? You remember that fountain that was next to the cabin with the windmill this whole time? Mm-hmm. You can't really get to that little page just chilling in the middle of the fountain.
Do you remember what page that was?
So it's the left side of the first clue as to what this goddamn Holy Cross thing is that the game's been referring to up until now.
So clever. It keeps referring to it.
Oh yeah, the whole time. And I'm
no
like, what the
idea
fuck
what
is the
that
Holy
is.
Cross?
And if I'm like anyone else, I've just been thinking the Holy Cross is like, I don't know, being someone who's played Castlevania games.
Sure.
Like I thought it was like some weapon that you get that you could throw.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Something tangible and attainable.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
it's
how many
tangible.
times have you been one of the Belmonts or Alucard literally throwing a Holy Cross to all your fucking enemies?
Exactly. And that's the brilliance of using this name.
Yeah.
And who wants to be the one to spoil it?
Well, I was just going to say that it's tangible because it's been in your hands the whole time.
You've had the Holy Cross since you were a child, honestly.
It's been
Right
within
under
you
your thumb.
the whole time. Now,
It's the goddamn D-pad.
yes! Oh my fucking God. If you've noticed, you can only move with the goddamn left joystick. What does the D-pad do? Nothing. What? I can't play an adventure game with the D-pad? It's got other plans, bitch.
You had no idea because you could just mash a directional at any point in the game and it doesn't do anything. But it does.
Now, where you get this page is very important. He so cleverly puts you right in front of these locked silver doors that, again, has been sprinkled throughout the game and you can't really do anything about. You look at this page, and one of my favorite things about the manual is that he has very realistic scribbles and notes. Totally as if like you're just opening this rented game and someone put
somebody
them
else's
there
notes.
with a crappy
Previous
ballpoint
player.
pen. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look really closely in the bottom left, there's an illustration of a cross or a D-pad or the directional keys on a keyboard. And now it's obvious at this point that there's something going on with these silver doors.
And these silver doors have these markings on them a la The Witness.
Yes.
Looks like a little line puzzle almost.
Yep.
And if you just follow the directions that these lines are going with your Holy Cross D-pad, ta-da! Door opens.
And what's behind the door? The other page completing this half of a full picture, confirming you are now armed with the knowledge and the power that is the Holy fucking cross.
You have the understanding.
buddy. It's so cool.
And that's not even the biggest brain-blowing moment of this game.
Oh, it sure ain't. This is just putting another fucking utility pocket on your belt, motherfucker. And we're just strapping up here. We are just strapping up here. It's so good. So now the game has just fully become a puzzle game now.
Yeah, it's cracked wide open, and now I'm spiraling. It's not just these doors anymore.
No.
You realize that this isn't just to open the doors. There's other ways that you can figure out these inputs from your environment. Like there's areas with flowers, and you got to like look at the way the flowers are laid out on the ground and connect them, and then that's your left, right, up, down inputs. And it's
So
oh my god, dude! And that now you're just freaking out because you're looking at everything. You're like, the flowers on the ground.
Yeah.
What else?
It's so good.
And then since I am looking at the manual right now, you also have page 34, which shows this, what looks like a compass,
Oh, that one, yeah.
which has little pen scribbled, and it looks like you got little songbird right here. Little pen scribbled, and it shows, you know, these quarter notes and one double like eighth note. This was honestly one of the coolest puzzles in the game.
Oh, for sure.
And yeah, if you happen to just notice, well, this is one little area in this game where these very deliberate chimes are happening. And I think there is a bird there too that's chirping.
I'm not sure,
Right?
but I think it's the only area in the game where the music stops playing.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like a big
Fishy.
cue.
It's
Yeah.
fishy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where I was going with this little puzzle. That puzzle was cool. It's hard to explain it because it's all audio based. But
The one that I was standing in front of, just like jaw hit the floor, was the fucking windmill.
oh
Oh yeah, the little
windmill.
tears in all of the blades.
Yeah, and like in like the shopkeeper is in there, right? So you just look at it, it's like, oh, it's just a little shop. It's just where I go to buy berries.
It was terrifying,
Like,
by the way. But anyway,
yeah, true. Like like for no need.
the coolest song. Though. It's like the
Yeah.
boop, boop,
Yeah.
yeah.
so sick.
But yeah, the goddamn windmill, like the clues are in the actual tattered and torn propellers. What the fuck do you call that?
Blades, yeah,
Blades,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, and like you just think of it as like, oh yeah, it's just like old worn out warehouse. Like it's just part of the environment I'm around. Like, nope, another puzzle.
It's so fucking good. And now, thanks to our new Holy Cross, we're getting even more pages of this thing. We're getting even more knowledge about this fucking game. And here, Foxy folks, is where the pen and paper come out. The manual is almost complete. There's this other term referred to as the golden path that you also don't know dog ass about.
Yeah, it sounds like when you refer to the golden path, it almost sounds like this ideology, right? Not
Yeah.
like an actual thing. And in a sense, it is. But you've had page 50 for pretty long in the game, and it shows there is this mountaintop that you can go to in the game that has this big door that you can't essentially do anything with.
Can't do shit with
You
that.
can't do shit with it. But there is a shortcut to another area in the game. That's if you go to the right. You go
That's
yeah,
the
down
quarry, yeah.
the quarry.
down the
So like
mountains.
it almost acts as that, but it's just a locked door, and it's a massive fucking door,
It's the
monolithic
door, yeah.
door. Then I don't know at what point, but yeah, it's page 49.
Page
Page
49.
49 is the other half of that larger picture. This picture pretty much shows a golden piece of paper with 25 different squares on it.
Yeah.
5 by 5 square. All of these squares just have these arbitrary numbers on them. None of these numbers are repeating. They're all different numbers.
Maybe it's bingo.
It kind of looks like a fucked up bingo card. Honestly.
So yeah, at this point, we've been using our goddamn Holy Cross through the whole game.
That fucking goddamn Holy Cross.
Yeah, dude, we're playing janitor. We're trying to clean up anywhere we can. And you come back to the giant golden monolith where you get the magic wand. It's obvious to us now that that's a directional puzzle. So we input those directions and we are awarded with a very important page here. Page 48, which our little fox buddy is so helpful in pointing directly to us, letting us know that these line patterns are where our final treasure lies. Again, with context, we have this page, we have this clue, we go back to our giant bingo card. We look at these numbers now, and maybe they correlate to the thing we've been hunting this whole game. Our pages of this fucking manual. 48 is on our bingo card. It's on the top left. Maybe this line puzzle correlates to that square.
Yeah, there's obviously this thing's going in directions that maybe it means something. So like the next page is 11. Well, there's also a golden line there. Huh.
Hidden in plain sight.
That's
Okay.
interesting. I didn't really notice it. And then you go to page 2, which is the next square. Well, there's also a weird directional golden line there. And then so on and so forth.
You
There's
start
just
going to
these-
all these pages, yeah. And all of a sudden you're noticing golden fucking lines.
You would never think to look. Like, they're just there. They've always been there. And they're going in directions. And then if you mark down all these directions for all of these random stray golden lines on all of these pages in this manual, you could piece them together into this large bingo card.
The
And then
golden
it-
path.
And then it makes a 100 input line puzzle for you to follow with your holy cross.
The golden path.
The golden path.
I see it.
Which if you stand in front of this door on the mountain and input this code with your holy cross, it opens a fucking door.
It's oh my god. Are you guys insane like me? And I actually drew out a 5x5 immediately. And I was like, let's fucking go.
Pen and notebook, dude. Just
I did it in a very interesting way, which I very much enjoyed, and I think it was sick, is that I used sticky notes.
Oh, that's fucking
that's
genius.
brilliant.
I had Post-its. So I had a 5x5 grid on my coffee table of sticky notes, and I had a Sharpie, and I was drawing it
That's
out.
brilliant.
They're
So you can
already
just
perfect
rotate 'em.
squares,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can rotate them however you want. That's perfect.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Amanda works from home and she uses a lot of sticky notes. So I had them I had them at the ready, dude. And I was like, shit, I can fucking use these. And yeah, it was awesome. I do have a
incredible.
picture of it. If we could somehow link it, can we link that shit in podcast?
Yeah, I don't see why not. All right.
I'll send you a picture of it and you can link it and then someone can see my little shitty Post-it note work that I did for this.
I fucking love it. We'll post
awesome.
it on our Instagram as
We-
well. It's
we,
worth it.
no, absolutely not. We cannot post the golden path
Yeah,
on a fucking episode.
yeah, we can't.
Absolutely not.
We can't post this at all. Actually,
Yeah, that's
Just
fair.
imagine it. It's a great idea.
that's very antithetical to what we were praising the subreddit to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, fair.
100% no,
Fair.
guys. Shutting that down.
Thank you, Eric, the voice of reason.
So now what do we get when we open this giant door to end all doors? We get the final page
The final
of our
page.
manual.
That's
It's
right.
the cover, right?
Yeah, it's page fucking 1.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's
It is
complete.
incredible.
We've got the finished manual now, and this means we can take it to the air. There's a new option when you go into her boss arena. Presenting her with the knowledge that is the completed manual triggers a cutscene so beautiful, so well deserved for all of our hard work, and so heartwarming. The curse is lifted with the knowledge that you've gained. You've done it. You've ended the cycle of perpetuity. You're done. You did what you were supposed to do as a little foxy knight. She thanks you. She looks just like you now that the curse is lifted. And you experience frame for frame the exact same credits that you've seen before. But now you both are there together. You're doing really fun activities. There's a shot of you picnicking, playing a game, running around, relaxing under some shade. It changes everything about that last credit and brought a tear to my eye. It was so fucking beautiful. I loved every second of that ending.
It's fantastic.
It's so nice.
It's so nice.
It's so
It's
nice.
So nice.
All right, and with the final page and the completion of this game, it's time to review it. So let's summon our man, Alexander, for Divine Judgment.
All right, guys, let's give this game a rating, which is going to be very interesting to see how we rate this thing. But first, we got any bonus stars that we can hand out?
Boy, do we. Yeah, I'd say the bonus star for me is just in the fact that you can play this game any way you want, like to any amount of depth or difficulty that you choose. That's an astounding thing to do within your game so that like everybody can enjoy it whatever way they want to.
Here, here.
For sure.
I'm giving a bonus star to the fact that Andrew Scholdice, the creator of this game,
The Dice Man.
Yeah. Give him the bonus star.
he is but all one human. He made this game by him fucking self.
He is a bonus star.
He is a bonus
He's my
star.
bonus star.
Thank you so much, Scholdice. Appreciate you, bud.
Sorry, I tried to make Andrew Dice Clay happen. So it wasn't happening.
You got any bonus stars?
Oh, man. Page 9.
Oh, is that the save file one?
That's a real good one.
That's a bonus star.
Yeah, and I'm not going to elaborate on that. I'm just going to say page 9.
Yeah, page
That's
9. Good luck, listeners. Overall positives and negatives, Eric.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I've already expressed enough, like all the positives via the manual and everything it does for this game and the delivery. And, you know, the only real negative is just that the combat may be a little too simple at times, but I think it's just enough to keep you engaged. And it does expand a little bit via your magic items and the hero's laurel. So,
Well said. I don't really think I can add anything to that.
There you go.
That's
Yeah, very well
exactly how I feel.
Replayability. What do you guys think?
I want to replay it right now. There you go.
I love it. Enough
you go.
said.
I'm kind of in the other camp where it's like, you know, the discovery is the big appeal to this game. So once you've kind of pulled back the curtain and had those aha moments, there might not be as much for you to do. But I think over time, when you forget some of those puzzles and stuff, I'll definitely return to it in some years from now.
Yeah. It's mostly just me getting very,
I mean, one never forgets Bruce Willis is dead the whole time. So I get it.
Yeah.
Dude, we need to stop spoiling movies.
All right. Give me a score out of blank.
This one just gets a straight like 9.9999999 out of 10. All right. 'Cause, I mean, it's an absolute masterpiece, save for some very minor like combat and maybe some menu frustrations. But it still stands among my favorite games of all time.
I'm going to give it the same fucking score. That is unbelievable. What are other perfect games? And we don't have to list them off because we don't have any fucking time. But like the best games ever made are 9.99999 games, right? Is there a fucking 10 game?
I'll have to think on that.
IGN would like to think so. IGN thinks there's so many.
I mean, yes, there are, right? But like this game is virtually perfect. It's like it was made for me, and I guess that's really all that matters, right? Is this game? This game's not for everybody, but it's for me.
Should be though.
It's for us.
And it's for us. What a treasure this is.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to have been alive when this game released.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Fuck yeah.
Like, I can't think of a more profound experience that I've had playing games in the last 10 years than this game.
Good football.
Like I said, man.
Like maybe Dark Souls?
I have a
Or
feeling.
maybe Hollow Knight?
Why are you like this? Why? You know what? I think we covered it, right? I'm done. I'm leaving.
Hold on. Let's bring our boy in. We still got a boss battle.
Oh, shit.
Shall we call him in, boys? Oh, Kyle.
Hey, get in here!
There's no relationships for people who play video games. You could have been the doctor that invented the cure, okay? Go get a job! Go invent something! Y'all a bunch of nerds.
All right, welcome to KT's Hypotheses, a deep and hilarious dive into the vibrant landscape of our own Mr. Kyle Therian's mind. So this segment is all about Kyle sharing his best guess at the plot of a video game based on nothing at all but the title. The rules are simple. We choose a game that he knows nothing about, and spoiler, that's most games. And he can't look shit up about it. He can't even look at the box art. And without further ado, an exclusive descent into KT's Hypotheses. Hello, Kyle.
What's up, nerds?
Hey, bud.
Hey,
How y'all been?
Nerdy.
do you care?
I'm fine.
It's an honor to be here with you guys.
Don't lie to us.
The Dreamcast, if I might. You know?
Thank you.
What y'all been up to?
Playing video games.
Hey, you know what we're doing in here.
Yeah. You, Andy, just playing video games?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Well,
Non-stop.
I've been eating ass and drinking IPA. You know what I mean?
Hopefully not at the same time.
Yeah, not playing a whole lot of video games, that's for sure.
Just pouring it down the chute. You know?
Yeah. Going back to the last
butt
episode.
chugging.
Yeah. Boofing.
I was thinking more like a luge right down the crack.
God, what a life.
Yeah.
Luging is so scary. But we're not here to talk about luging. Anyway.
We're here to talk about a video game.
We're talking Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight.
That's right.
Shovel Knight.
What do you got?
Well, I think it's a lame title. I mean, one could only assume that this game is about a knight wielding a fucking shovel as a weapon. I can't help but imagine. Yeah, I can't help but imagine this game is most likely similar to a game I used to watch Clinton waste all of his valuable limited time here on Earth playing nonstop when I used to live with him.
What game was that?
What was the name of that game? You used to play a game with a knight and you were so fucking horny about it. You're like, this is my favorite game.
It must be Dark
It
Souls.
had to have been
right?
Dark
It's gotta
Souls.
be.
Dude,
Or
I mean, like,
Elden Ring.
that
Dark
is so
Sword.
vague for the games I play.
Dude, no, it's Dark Souls.
I mean, that's what I had imagining in my head. I mean, my only interface with video games is literally walking through the living room, seeing Clinton.
And what's this loser doing?
Yeah, yeah. And then just chiming in and seeing like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what's going on here? This is what you've been doing all day? Okay, dude.
Sure is. Well, look at all my levels.
So yeah, I'd imagine this game to be about some faceless knight suited head to toe in armor, wielding a shovel around some Zelda-like world, bashing trolls and gremlins in order to save some princess from the grips of a perverted evil monster, with side missions involving hitting chickens with wooden boxes and having some generic conversations with peasants and townfolk. Something that allows you nerds to spend hours venturing away from the actual task of the game, replacing your reality and real world responsibilities with hours of mindless open map foreplay. I can only hope that there are some tasks that actually involve digging holes with the shovel, which for some reason I'd imagine to really turn Andy and Clinton on. Sorry, Eric, I actually don't know literally anything about you. However, I could easily imagine Andy and Clinton on their couches late at night with rock-hard erections as they spend hours in a video game where the character is dressed as a knight, digging holes of all sizes, while the poor princess awaits her excavator knight in shining armor. Shovel Knight, your hole is my goal. Now,
What a fucking slogan.
yeah. I think what would be a rad concept for a video game titled Shovel Knight would be a video game about a Portuguese landscaper named Manny Souza.
Okay, so that entire thing was just what you assume the game is, not your synopsis.
What I'd love to imagine the game about is something a little bit more real, which would be a Portuguese landscaper named Manny Souza.
Hold on, I got to take my shirt off. I'm getting sweaty.
He's getting hot and bothered thinking about those holes.
Those holes, dude.
Yeah. Manny Souza, whom one day while cutting the grass of a customer discovers loud shrieks of a damsel in distress. Someone's Tia Maria has slipped down a manhole just under the grapevine when she went outside to hang laundry out to dry. Oh my God. Maybe Manny slides into a manhole with a shovel, sort of like Mario, shouting, "Hey, Zuzish, it's me, a Manny Souza," and has to traverse a rat-infested sewer system with nothing but smalls and linguiça sandwiches to keep him nourished on his journey to save Tia. Fuck. That, guys, is a video game concept that I could totally get behind.
Unreal.
Yeah. Shovel Knight. Your hole is my goal.
Still the same slogan.
Well done.
Wow. That was a ride.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem, guys.
You're not. You weren't too far off.
Yeah, I'm interested
Although
to see.
I don't think the knight actually digs holes with the shovel.
He does not dig holes.
I was
He
hoping.
digs
But
through
he does.
piles of riches.
Okay.
And he does occasionally use it like a pogo stick.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or he'll hop
Combos.
on enemies with his shovel.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Again, don't lie to us.
So would you care to know what the game is really about?
Not really, actually.
No.
Nah,
He's not interested.
I got stuff I got to do, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's ready. He's ready to leave.
Well, Kyle, like always, it was short but divine, but a pleasure.
Up and he's gone.
Oh, well, all right.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Stay up to date by following our Instagram at Railroad Park Gaming or subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts.
Our music is composed by the talented Alan J. Mills. You can learn more about him at alanjosephmills.com. If you have any questions, comments, or stories, shoot us an email at railroadparkgaming@gmail.com.
Or just click the bio link on our Instagram page. We would absolutely love to hear from you. And we'll see you on the next episode, Shinies.
Okie dokie.